Hi you guys, and welcome back. In today's video I am going to be talking to you about my lifestyle and health journey and where I'm going, and an update just in general on how I'm doing with my eating disorder recovery and everything else. So yeah, let's just hop right into the video. So I really wanted to come here and talk to you guys about this because I realized that I had bared so much of myself when I recorded the video a couple of months ago and talking to you guys about my recovery from having an eating disorder or several eating disorders, and I thought you guys deserved to know what was next on my journey and how I plan to approach things from here on out. I have gotten so much feedback on my social medias with people DMing me and wanting to talk to me about suffering from eating disorders, getting diagnosed, finding doctors, support groups, and just they just needed someone to listen to them and their problems. They really felt seen and heard when they watched me talk about my own experiences and struggles. So I definitely owe it to all of those viewers and to all of those women who are out there and struggling. I wanted to let you guys know what I'm going to be doing and how I'm going to be doing it. I had a lot of plans. I was very happy with myself pre-COVID. I was satisfied with how I looked and how I felt, my activity levels and everything else, and then COVID hit and just everything kind of went to hell. Like a lot of people, I started sheltering in place in March, and as a result of that, I started getting less exercise. I started cooking more and eating more and just watching a lot more TV, and the weight, it did come on. As a matter of fact, and I just realized this, I am wearing the exact same sweatshirt that I wore in the previous video, and this is fitting me so tight. It is so tight on me. It is so tight. Like I could barely, it was loose before, but now it's super tight. I measure myself with how my clothes feel, and my clothes, some of them I can't even fit anymore. That's how much weight I've gained. And honestly, I was warned by my therapist and by my doctors that when you are in recovery, you will or might experience a spike in weight, because I'm finally eating healthfully and eating my calories and things like that. But it was kind of exacerbated by COVID, because I had been in recovery since March of 2019, and I lost weight and then I stabilized, and I stabilized at that weight for probably about 8 months. I did not start to actively gain weight until I went into sheltering in place. The thing is that yes, I've gained a lot of weight. Yes, my diet was not that great. Yes, I could have exercised more, which I'm doing now, but I was not doing at the beginning of the virus, and it's all caught up to me. My doctor was very concerned about me putting on more weight, and it wasn't because of my health issue or my mental health issues, even though that's definitely a big part, but more so of what's going to happen when I have to really go on a diet. If I gain a lot of weight and I go to that kind of point of no return, and you're going to have to definitely start counting calories and tracking what you eat, which can, lead to a relapse. So we talked it over, and I talked it over with my therapist, and I also talked it over with my husband, whose opinion I value probably more than anyone else's. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this in previous videos, but my husband is a doctor. He is a physician. For the last couple of years, or really like maybe for the last 10 years, he had been urging me to adopt a new eating plan and not so much a diet. And he always suggested the Mediterranean diet. And I would look at it and I would study it, and I would just kind of brush it off because it wasn't restrictive enough for me. Remember, at the time, I had a very diseased mind, and I thought that I needed structure. I thought that I needed to be strict. I thought that I needed to count my macros right down to the last crumb I put into my mouth. Every crumb needed to be accounted for. And that's not how the Mediterranean diet works. He brought it up again And this time, with a clearer mind, I did a little reading on it. I didn't find many books with people trying to sell this as a way to hack your body and hawking supplements and things like that. It just seemed like a normal way of eating. So I did discuss it with my doctor, I discussed it with my therapist, and I discussed it with my husband, and we came to the conclusion that this was probably the best eating plan for me. That my husband really approves, it means a lot, because I have put him through hell, and I know that he worries about me relapsing, but the chances of that happening on a diet like the Mediterranean diet, pretty slim. So the diet came, I'm just getting comfortable here because I have TMJ and my neck hurts, gosh. Mediterranean diet came because it was noticed by researchers that people who lived along the Mediterranean Sea or the countries that bordered the Mediterranean Sea suffered a lot less health issues than, say, Americans. We do have our own diet. It's called the Standard American Diet, SAD acronym. Yeah, and which I honestly don't think the American diet is that bad, but it's not great. So they lived longer, they were healthier, and they just seemed to enjoy life a little bit better than your average American. So what the Mediterranean diet and lifestyle is a high focus on activity, on family, on inner healthiness, and having an active lifestyle, having hobbies, eating foods that are not as processed as regular foods. So whole grains, fruits, vegetables, things like that. Low in red meat, low in sugar, high in or moderate fats, good healthy fats like avocado, olive oil, and things like that. It is used for weight loss. It is. I'm not sure that I can say that I'm doing this to lose weight, but rather just to stop that kind of trajectory of me constantly or consistently gaining weight every week while I am in lockdown. And it is known to kind of prevent things like diabetes, or help to prevent diabetes and high blood pressure and things like that. I don't have any of those comorbidities, but I do have slightly elevated cholesterol, so this might be really, really good for me on that end. Isn't like a diet, because obviously if you are living in a country that is surrounded by the Mediterranean Sea, Greeks eat different from Italians eat differently from Egyptians, and so on and so forth. But it's rather just an ideal, fresh foods, not processed foods, wine, low in dairy, low in red meat, high in good fats like olive oil and avocados like I mentioned, a lot of shellfish and seafood, things like that. So you're not excluding anything, not even sweets. You're just not supposed to, they just typically don't engage in those things like every single day or all day, every day. You're not eating Doritos and Oreos and then having a slice of cake with some ice cream for dessert, and then Whoppers because you're up at midnight and you don't have anything else to do. That's just not the kind of lifestyle that is acceptable on this particular diet. So it is not as restrictive. You do not have to count calories or carbs. You don't have to count any kind of macros. There will be no restricting myself. If I want something, I will eat it. But on the other hand, I'm definitely leaning more into this particular diet. So the Mediterranean diet is ranked, and I'm reading this here, #1 in best diets overall, #1 in plant-based diets, because you definitely can do this without eating shellfish or seafood or chicken, poultry, red meat. You don't have to eat any of that. You can definitely just do a vegan or vegetarian based diet. It is #27 in best fast weight loss diets, which is very comforting to me because I have no interest in losing weight quickly. It's just not something that I am doing this for. If the weight comes off or when it comes off, that's fine. I will not know because I do not weigh myself. So when my clothes start to fit better, I'll be happy. But it's just, I'm looking to just lead a completely different and more healthy lifestyle. It is #15 in best weight loss diets overall. It is number 2 in best healthy heart diets, number 1 in best diabetes diet, number 1 in best diets for healthy eating, and number 1 in diets easiest to follow. So that's exactly, most of those reasons are why I decided to kind of lean in. You're going to hear me say that a lot, leaning into this diet. I decided to do that because it is the least restrictive diet I have ever heard of. Seriously. So for most people, tracking definitely helps. Weighing themselves once a week or whatever definitely helps. Me being myself in the journey that I'm on and being in recovery for an eating disorder, I will not be partaking in anything like that. I will not be weighing myself. I will not be counting macros. However, I will be measuring myself. For some reason, measuring myself does not trigger me the way that stepping on a scale and seeing physical numbers do. I'm also going to be kind of following my progress by how my clothes fit. So for instance, when I did my first video on my eating disorder, I was actually wearing this sweatshirt, and it just occurred to me. And when I wore this, it was so much looser, and now it's super tight. Like, it's very tight in the arms. You can see it's like my second skin. It's just, it doesn't fit the same anymore because I've gained weight. So I will know, I wear this probably once every couple of weeks. It's just a coincidence I'm wearing it now, but I'll know in a couple of weeks when I put this back on how it feels, and I'll know if I'm being successful at eating what my body needs and not overdoing it. So I'm going to put up on the screen somewhere, probably on this side. Do it on this side, editing Ebbie. Put it up right there. Yeah. I am going to show you a pyramid, and this is showing exactly what consists of, what you need in the Mediterranean diet and what it consists of. So I'm pulling this up on my phone here, and I've noticed that this particular, yeah, let's do this one because it has some nice black people in it. I love black people. You see the foundation of the diet is activity and lifestyle, and that is something that I have already leaned into and I am incorporating in my diet. Obviously, I can't be dancing, and we're not going to be having Thanksgiving dinner with families and things like that, but I have started walking twice a week, and that gets me out of the house. I am wearing my mask the entire time, so I do try to limit it to about a 30 to 45 minute walk because I am very uncomfortable walking around in a mask for longer than maybe an hour, especially when I'm trying to get my heart rate up. So that is the most important, and that is something that I have been working on the last couple of weeks to really try to lean into. That's something else that's different with this diet and me personally, because before I would go shopping, I would decide I was going to do a diet, then I would go grocery shopping, buy everything possible that I could buy to be on this diet, and I would probably binge eat and purge on Saturday and Sunday, and then starting on Monday, that would be my fresh start. Like, yes, this is it, I'm getting into it and I'm gonna do it. And if I had one bad day, then that whole week was blown. Or even if I had one bad meal, then the whole day was blown, start again tomorrow. That's not the way I'm approaching it this time. I have, for the last couple of weeks, been going on consistent walks, and I have been upping my exercise. I do have a Peloton bike, and I have been doing yoga and Peloton riding for the last couple of weeks, and I'm just really working my way back up into like consistent exercising. So that is something that I'm already doing and that I will continue to do. I will make that the foundation of my lifestyle. Okay, and then number 2, so the second level, you'll see fruits, vegetables, grains, mostly whole, olive oil, beans, nuts, legumes, and seeds, and herbs and spices. And they said that it's best to have these every meal. So every meal is based on these foods. So that obviously rules out any kind of low carbs. I am not interested in counting my carbs, but I have always, even in recovery, I've always kind of monitored my carb intake, and when I don't, this is the result. I have been eating a ton of sugar for the past 6 or 7 months. I really have. I have been getting in with cakes and pies and candies and just lots of comfort food that I don't think that I would have been partaking in if I wasn't sheltering in place. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I went into recovery March of 2019, and I lost a lot of weight in the beginning when I first went into recovery, and then my weight stabilized, and I stayed at that weight for like 6 or 7 months. So I am positive that it's from being in quarantine or sheltering in place as to why I've gained this kind of weight. So yeah, even before COVID, you know, I'd have what I wanted probably on weekends, and I had a pretty decent and I think well-rounded diet during the week. And now it's like all of the days bleed into each other because we're basically living like this Groundhog Day over and over again. So I just wasn't as careful about what I was eating, wasn't as thoughtful, not careful. I wasn't as thoughtful about the things that I was eating, and I'm really looking forward to getting back to that. It's not being disciplined, it's just being mindful of what I'm eating. And then you'll see the third layer of the pyramid is fish and seafood. This is often, at least twice a week. I'm not a huge fan of seafood, to be honest with you, or I should say I'm not a huge fan of fish, but I do like salmon, and I do like shrimp and lobster, of course, and crab. But honestly, shrimp and crab, those are my bae. Those are the two things that I'll probably be eating the most of. But I do recognize that the reason we're supposed to eat a lot of fish is to get those good, healthy, fatty oils or fatty acids, I should say. So I am going to try to eat salmon or some kind of fish at least once a week, not once a month, once a week. So here's the thing about the Mediterranean diet is that I feel like you can mold it to your needs and your wants and what you want to do. So for me, I'm not going to undertake some diet that I know that I'm not going to sustain. I've done that all my life, and I've never sustained any of them, obviously. Okay, so then you'll see on the last part, the top part of the pyramid is meats and sweets, and they're telling you to have that less often, which again, I can do. So for instance, the old me would have seen that and seen less often and thought, no, that is not strict enough. You should not be eating this. You shouldn't be eating that, blah, 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 period. I would choose diets like keto so I can punish myself if I fell off and I had something that I wasn't supposed to have because you're working so hard to get in ketosis. It's not like that here. So for instance, last night I had McDonald's for dinner last night because I had really bad overfeed pains, and I was supposed to have shrimp and risotto, which I'm having tonight, but I didn't want to deal with that last night. So I went and had a McDonald's cheeseburger. The old me would have probably gone on a binge or did some really, really punishing exercises and then completely tossed the next day, which is Sunday, away and considered that a loss and eaten whatever I wanted and then punished myself for that and then start fresh on Monday. This me, on this Mediterranean diet, I had my McDonald's. I finished the burger, did not finish the fries, had water with it, took my vitamins, came upstairs. And that was that. It was no punishing. It was no feelings of guilt because I had McDonald's. It was just, I had McDonald's. That's what I wanted. And that's that. And then I woke up this morning and I had a healthy breakfast. So yeah, you can fit anything into this lifestyle, but you have to leave it to yourself to teach yourself moderation. And it's totally up to you what you're going to eat and what you're going to prioritize. This is just a guide. It is not demanding that you follow it to the T. And I really like that. Before I go though, because that's pretty much all there is to it. This isn't, there's no real checklist or anything. We're just going to try to live a little healthier. Okay, so I bought these overalls. I bought these overalls from Target. They're overall shorts. Let me see something. These are Wild Fable shorts. And they are tiny, tiny shorts. Let me see if I can back up so you guys can see. But these are the shorts. They're cutoffs. This is a size large. And when I bought these, they were hanging off of me. They were so comfortable. The pandemic hit. I started sheltering in place, and this is just not the kind of thing that I wear around the house. This is the kind of thing that I wear around the house. This is what I'm wearing now. Like, I have sweats on. So I just stuck these in my drawer, and every now and then when I kind of felt that I was gaining some weight, I will pull these out and I would try these on. And remember, these are size large and they fit really baggy on me. If I wanted them to fit tight, I would have gotten a medium. But I like them loose because I have a little tummy. And I can barely get into these now. And I'm going to show you guys really quickly. Okay, so can you guys see? But you see my stomach is kind of big and I can barely, you see the pockets are stretched out. I can barely button these. I was on my way to not even being able to button these. Let me see if I can step back just a little bit. Okay, so you guys see how this fits on me. I have my tummy. Okay, to be fair, I'm a mom. I have a lot of loose skin here, but you guys see. So this is how I'm looking. This is super, super tight. Yeah, this is bad. I am an extreme pair. So yeah, this is it, you guys. I need to get back in these. These were super loose on me, super loose. This is my goal outfit. This is my goal outfit. I need to get rid of this too. This is a problem. It's not healthy to carry weight in this area, okay? But I'm holding myself accountable. I want you guys to see what I'm working with. And by the way, this is something I would have never done. Never, ever, ever have done this a year ago or 2 years ago. Wouldn't, oh gosh. Lucky you guys even saw me from the chest up because I was not showing any part of my body before I went into recovery. So this is it. This is how I'm looking. I have my tummy I need to deal with. I barely was able to get this button. This is not good. This is size large. So I think that now I'm probably maybe a 2XL in this because I have wide hips. So yeah, I can barely get into my pockets. Yeah, this is not cool. And I think large is fine for my frame. I need to get it together. You guys see, I have some work to do. Like I mentioned in my last video, my last update video, I am out of breath when I'm running up the stairs. I have noticed that that's not the case so much anymore since I've started exercising, but I still have a long way to go. I don't want to be out of shape. I don't want to huff and puff coming up the stairs. I do not want to be dangerously overweight. I'm a black woman. I do not want to have my weight be a comorbidity. I don't want that to increase my likelihood of getting certain diseases. I've already got that against me just by being black. So I definitely need to keep my weight at a comfortable weight. But at the same time, I don't want to be at a weight that is just not reasonable for me to maintain. I feel like how I was pre-COVID was perfect. I was able to maintain that for months and months and months with little to no effort. I was getting regular exercise. Maybe not, I wasn't getting on my Peloton and things like that, but I was getting out and I was living, and it just felt different. It felt different, and I don't like the way I feel right now. It's really, I am just dismayed at how I feel. I'm dismayed at being winded. I am dismayed that I can feel my stomach folding over my pants when I sit down. I don't like that. I don't like that carrying extra weight around my midsection makes me more vulnerable of getting certain diseases and disorders. So I just want to be healthy. That's it. That's it. And how I look and what size I fit into is, I don't even want to say it's a bonus. That's just a byproduct of being healthy for me. I felt pre-COVID I was healthy. I don't feel like I'm healthy anymore. So I definitely need to rein it in and just start treating my body in a way that it needs to be treated, because it is taking care of me and my soul. It is My body is a temple. It's protecting my soul. So I need to do this for myself. I just wanted to do this video because I didn't want to just jump in with vlogs of showing you guys me making my meals and doing my exercises and things like that, and not really explaining to you guys or having a reference video of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I just didn't want to just jump in with weight loss or dieting videos and you guys be like, I thought you were in recovery, sis. This is something that I will be updating you guys on often. So I hope you enjoy my journey. If you decide to join me, that would be wonderful too. But if not, I hope that you enjoy following me and rooting me on and helping me out and being a shoulder to cry on and an ear for me to chat to. I love you guys, and I thank you guys for all of your support and your help in coming this far. So yeah, I would not be this far into my recovery without YouTube and without all of the ladies who came in, all of the women of color who have reached out to me and let me know that I'm not alone in dealing with this. So I'm going to end this video here. I will see you in the next one. I'm going to go down and I'm going to make some shrimp and risotto and spinach for dinner. I probably won't have dessert. Depends on how I feel. I might not. But I'm going to go down and eat, and I will see you guys in the next video. If you like this content, please subscribe because I'm going to have more content like this coming up. If you like this video and you got something from it, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Peace out and stay safe.